Hello once again and welcome to The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers. We're here every week meeting interesting people and dealing with topical issues, and today we welcome back a frequent guest.
A frequent guest, better than saying an old friend, although she is a friend. Dr. Ann Bauman is joining us again because we do this every year, folks, and you may think we do it more than once a year, but we really don't. Integris sponsors a women's health forum that's put together over a several-week period in a number of locations, and they just do an excellent job of putting it together. Mary Ann is kind of in charge of that, and we want her to come back and tell us what's new and exciting this year, going to start in about a month.
She can speak about a lot of things, not just women's health, but today's show we're going to talk about this upcoming forum and how people can get more information on taking better care of themselves and their family. It's coming up today on The Verdict. We'll be right back.
Well, prices at the pump are hitting new highs this week. In other news,
gasoline is expected to top $4 a gallon this week.
expect drivers seeing sticker shock at the pump.
OPEC has raised the price of oil again, and Wall Street worries.
Well, a full tank of gas is going to set drivers back.
Straight ahead, the latest news on
Meanwhile, gasoline is expected
If you need big accounting firm expertise but aren't happy with the value or level of partner engagement from your current national firm, contact Hogan Taylor. Hogan Taylor provides national-level public accounting expertise with high-touch, local partner service in all areas of tax, audit, business valuation, and litigation support. Contact us at hogantaylor.com/The Verdict. Hogan Taylor, big enough to know, small enough to care.
Hello there and welcome once again to The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers, and Kent's going to introduce today's guest.
Thrilled to welcome back once again for the 14th time to the set of The Verdict, Dr. Ann Bauman. I'll just cover a couple of things that you're probably familiar with, but briefly, Dr. Bauman got her medical degree from Wayne State University in Detroit. In 1991, she joined Integris. She is now the medical director in charge of women's health and community relations at Integris. She's a board-certified internist, has an active private practice, and is kind of the lead person on the Women's Health Forum that Integris puts on every year in the fall, and that's thus our show, which is about probably the 14th one we've done.
I think
but,
so.
what number on the Women's Health Forum is this, do you recall?
Number 26.
26. Well, we haven't done 26 of them.
No.
But welcome back.
Thank you. It's so good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And you never run out of topics. Why is that?
Never. You know, we look in magazines, we look at what the doctors are telling us, we look at the news, we look from my practice, and we just come up with these topics that we know are relevant. People are interested in health. They're not always doing as much as they should be doing about it, but they are interested in health, and so we always have great topics.
Well, there's lots of TV shows, you know, on a daily basis. And, you know, in the morning, doctors are now TV stars, and there's a lot of conversations going on about health, information, probably some misinformation, but just, I think you're right, there's just a higher level of interest on health issues.
Yes, I think the internet has certainly helped to disperse information. People have a lot more access to that, and you are right, some is good, some is bad, and I think they're looking to doctors to help sort out what should they believe, what not. But again, as we've talked about, the key is not just having the information, it's using it to live a healthier life.
Okay, so does the Women's Health Forum, does it cost money? Do you have to buy a big ticket for the whole week, or what's the deal there?
The sessions are free, except when we have, some of them when we have luncheons and dinners, then we charge for the food there. But by and large, we really try to get people in so they can see. And our headliner, Diane Keaton, is free.
Yeah, and
Well,
how'd you work that out?
Let's talk about timing here.
Yes.
Today is September 9th.
Yes.
Diane Keaton speaks September 9th.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
It's not too late, though.
Call and see if you can get in, because she is going to be fearless and fabulous. So
Call where?
You can call 951-2277. You can go online to integrisok.com because that's how we do our tickets. And she's going to be at the Civic Center, so it should be terrific.
And her topic?
Fabulous and fearless.
Can you expand on that?
She's going to talk about how you live a fearless life, and she's going to talk about her experiences, which we see as this great successful woman, but I'm sure she's had stressors and things and disappointments, and how she's worked through those. So that fits so well with our topic, because we're always thinking about not just the physical aspects of health, but the mind-body connection. So she works perfectly.
Okay. All right, what should we look at from a headline perspective on the Women's Health Forum this year?
Well, we've
Where
got
do you want to start?
we've got lots of neat things. It'll be going through today. We started yesterday with self-defense. We're going through today through the 22nd. So we've got lots of topics every single day. We do have a speaker, Michelle May, who is coming in, and she'll be at the Marriott, and she's going to be talking about Love What You Eat. So she has written a book, and that will be a very good one, I think, as well.
Is that about making your own food, or?
It's about making right choices, that eating healthy doesn't have to be horrible. And I know you know this because you live it that way. But learning how to eat healthy in an enjoyable way.
What's she mean, repent, repeat cycle? What's that about?
What she's talking about is how so many people gain weight, go on a diet, lose weight, gain it back again.
That's my
lose it
life
again.
story.
Yes, that's it.
At least until the last few years, and who knows what
Exactly.
my future holds. But yeah, I know exactly what that's about.
That's exactly what it's talking about, and really trying to change your lifestyle so you don't yo-yo all the time, because that can't be good for the body. You know, maintaining a steady. In fact, I read one thing once that said that if you maintain your weight within 10 pounds of when you graduated from high school, assuming, of course, that you were at the usual weight most high schoolers have been in the past, then that's the healthiest to be.
High school?
High school, not college, high school.
Oh, goodness. I'm in trouble. Well, I just have been glancing at the program, and don't know anything about it more than what I read here, but obviously the most exciting presentation is going to be the one called Masked Mysteries, Wired and Tired. Who's doing that?
I am doing Masked Mysteries.
Oh, what a
and,
shock.
Yes, I'm going to talk about, people say I don't feel well. I mean, I get that all the time in my practice. So we're going to talk about exactly what that means, how a doctor views I don't feel well, what kinds of things we think about. We'll talk about some various diseases. We will also talk about how people don't feel well because of things they're doing to themselves.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of follow those kinds of things. The Wired and Tired is really neat. It's talking about, with several of our doctors, talking about how we're all connected all the time to our iPhones, to our iPads, to our telephones, everything. And so we're constantly stressed, and how that affects our health and how that affects our sleep.
I'm sorry, you may have said it, but today's Sunday, the 9th. When is your program going to be?
Oh, it is tomorrow the 10th.
Okay. And where?
We will be at, I have to look because we've had so many of these that we're
But
going to.
here in Oklahoma City?
It's here in Oklahoma City, yes. And I'm going to be, I think, at the Northwest Library. They have a beautiful facility there, and we're trying to go around the city to different places.
Okay.
No, on Northwest 122nd?
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
All right, I know it seems like every year you go back and visit this topic because it's so important, and that's diabetes.
Boy, I'll tell you, especially in our state, we're reaching epidemic proportions of diabetes. And so we really find that we have to continue to educate people about how to identify the signs. But really, the way we usually find diabetes is through a blood test when someone feels fine. And then what steps have to be taken after. Just recently, I made the diagnosis of a person that I've been worried about becoming a diabetic, and I've been telling her for a long time, you're going to be a diabetic. And sure enough, now she is, because she wasn't able to lose the weight, change her lifestyle, do the exercise, the things that you need to do. So we want to constantly be talking about that, and hopefully teaching people how you can avoid this disease, because it's interesting. With changes in lifestyle, you can decrease the incidence of diabetes by 54%. So you can really decrease your risk of that.
Well, once a person is diagnosed as a diabetic and then goes through appropriate life changes and diet changes and the like, is that condition reversible?
Well, it's interesting. There is a certain point, that if someone really makes the changes and brings their weight down, eats healthily, exercises, that you can basically have a normal blood sugar. The hemoglobin A1C, which is a test we do that looks at the blood sugar over 3 months, can revert back to normal. Probably still at high risk, but you don't have to take medications and you can keep it under control. But there comes a point for people, if they go beyond that, even if they lose the weight, it might be under better control, but they will still be diabetic.
Pregnancy health, that's always a hot topic. Are there any new trends here?
Well, we want to look at, a lot of women need to recognize that if they develop diabetes, for example, during pregnancy, they're at higher risk later on. The weight increases, the staying away from the caffeine or just in moderation, those kinds of things that women do have to pay attention to. And there are some conditions that if you don't take care of them, or if we note them in pregnancy, then we can see them later on.
I've recently read an article questioning whether or not there are too many C-sections being handed out. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this has been an issue for a long time, and certainly C-section is a safe procedure if you need it, but when we're doing all of these elective cesarean sections, that there is risk with that. I mean, it is a surgical procedure, so there is risk. And sometimes there's been a tendency for people to think, oh, it's more convenient. I want to have my baby before the end of the year, or I want to do this or that. And so C-sections have been more common.
You can schedule a C-section, and
C-section.
people are used to today, and we want to know when something's going to happen.
Exactly.
The uncertainty of a normal pregnancy just doesn't appeal to people. I get that.
That's right, and women are tired of being pregnant, so they get past that 38th week, and they're ready to be induced and to have the baby, etc. But sometimes the baby's not quite as ready to come out at that point in time.
You have a topic here called Why Women Don't Call 911. What's that about?
This is a very important one. You know, I work a lot with the American Heart Association, and one of our cardiologists, Dr. Koger, is going to be talking about the studies show that women will call 911 if someone else needs them at least 74% of the time. They'll say, the first thing I'll do is call 911. If they're having a problem, only 53% of them will call 911. They think, oh, it'll get better, or oh, maybe it's just heartburn. And so we want to definitely make women aware that heart attacks happen to them, and the first thing you do is call 911, because now we have these systems in place with EMS, with our hospitals, so that they'll begin treatment right in the ambulance, so that by the time you hit that ER door, you are taken to the cath lab.
Different, but similar in some ways. Domestic violence. Women are slow to report, and we're running into higher frequencies of domestic violence reports. Do you have any advice on there?
Yes, we are running into this, and actually we're speaking about this at Women's Health Forum, because we have our Girls' Day out, and Jan Peary, who is with the YWCA and makes it her mission to work with women on this. We are definitely talking about, you need to be aware, not be in denial, you need to take care of your own safety. So this is an important topic.
We're going to have to take a break. We're visiting with Dr. Ann Bauman. The Women's Health Forum is this week in Oklahoma City. We'll be right back.
The thing that has made the most sense for me is realizing that I am still an educator, and that is what I do at the Chickasaw Nation. I'm Dr. Amanda Cobb-Greetham. I'm a historian, and I'm Chickasaw. The Chickasaw Cultural Center is amazing. It is a very, very special place devoted to the sharing and to the celebration of Chickasaw history and culture. State-of-the-art technology, exhibits that are not like anything I've ever seen. The Spirit Forest is incredible, and you feel as if you have actually just walked into a forest with huge trees all around you. It's timeless, and yet it's sort of also representative of our time depth, to really just sort of reach through time and touch the past. By the end of the exhibits, you really have a sense of Chickasaw cultural and political resurgence, and the extent to which we are a healthy, dynamic, and vital tribe today. Chickasaws have always been an inclusive people. This is something for the whole community and for the state of Oklahoma.
Hear that? It's the sound of an industry, 83,000 strong, creating jobs for nearly 350,000. A $52 billion a year being pumped into our economy. It's the sound of Oklahoma's oil and natural gas industry, our heart for the state and our people. And it beats on and on and on.
When you have something important to communicate, it becomes clear that there's a lot of competition for your audience's attention. So how can your message stand out and actually resonate with your audience? Legal Graphics has the answers. The team at Legal Graphics will work with you to plan, design, and even test your presentation to ensure your message will be heard and remembered. Call Legal Graphics today to schedule an appointment. The readiness is all.
Welcome back to the set of the verdict. We're visiting with Dr. Ann Bauman. The Women's Health Forum is this week in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I think we almost had in the break a brain wreck, but you do have a topic listed here about avoiding a brain wreck.
Yeah.
What's that about?
We are talking about strokes, you know, and when we talk about obesity, we talk about diabetes, we talk about high blood pressure, we talk about strokes, because the number one reason that people have strokes is high blood pressure. And so we want to make people aware of the signs of it, aware that this is another one to call 911, because all of the ER services are set up so that when EMS calls, there's a stroke team available, and they will get that person in, because time lost is brain lost. If you get in immediately when you start having symptoms, instead of thinking, oh, I guess my weak arm, it'll go away, or I can't talk just because my mouth is dry, they can start immediately with the medications that will break those clots down.
Where's that going to be and who's going to do it?
Well, that is going to be, let me look and see here. The dates are on our pages, and that is on September 12th, Wednesday, September 12th, and we have a neurologist, Dr.
This coming
Rathbun.
Wednesday.
Yes, and also Mary Pinzone, who is one of our nurse educators, is going to be speaking then too.
Okay, I've got to ask you about sex, chocolate, and pelvic health.
Don't you love that title?
It's a great title. What does it mean?
Well, we are going to have one of our urologists, our GYN urologist, talking about pelvic floor problems for women. The pelvic floor is basically what holds up all of our structures, holds in the uterus, the bladder, etc. And sometimes as women get older, there's a relaxation of the supporting structures. So a woman can actually have a prolapse where the vagina, where the uterus or the bladder actually comes out. So we're going to be talking about how to maintain pelvic health, what you can do if you're having these issues, because it can lead to problems with pain, it can lead to problems with intercourse. So we're going to be talking about that. And then we're also kind of mixing it up with some fun. We're going to be talking about the benefits of chocolate.
Dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate. And we're going to do this at the melting pot, which should be lots of fun.
Okay, I'm going to ask Mick a question, because I'm sure he doesn't know. Where is this program going to be held? Keep your children from monkeying around with danger.
Well, the only monkeys I know are at the zoo.
You got it.
Rats.
He is pretty
Well, you got
smart,
rats there, too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But not real nearby.
No.
We decided this would be fun. You know, our zoo is such a marvelous location, and with the new things that they have done, it's just great. And we're going to be talking with Dr. Bill Banner is going to be talking about how to keep your children safe and what kinds of things you need to do, because he is in charge of poison control for our city. So he deals with this stuff all the time. So we thought that would be a really neat topic for
and just
parents.
so people probably aren't aware, but we have small gathering spaces, educational annexes at the zoo, so you're not like standing in front of the animals.
Right, you're not doing that. That might be fun. However, we do have lovely facilities there.
I read one of the short descriptions of section 18 here, seeing spots, the braology, and it said 8 out of 10 women are not wearing the proper bra. What does that mean?
You know, we have a tendency to go in and say, okay, we want this size and this, and try it on or not, and take it home and figure this works. But in terms of the proper support for women, so that they don't have shoulder pain and back pain, there is an appropriate type of a bra to have, and so we'll have some information on that. And we also have 2 of our radiology breast specialists who will be talking about the newest things in the diagnosis of breast cancer and how we can find this earlier and earlier, because survival is dependent on how quickly you find it.
Seniors are not only living longer, they're living healthier lives in general.
Yes.
What changes is that making from what you see?
Oh my gosh, huge changes in how we do things. First of all, there are whole new businesses in terms of how to allow seniors to be as independent as possible for as long as possible. You know, you used to think 70 was old. Well, 70 is not old anymore. And we have so many people living beyond 100. You know, so now we have to work on quality of life as well as quantity of life. So one of the things that we're going to do is talk about what are the secrets of centurions. What are the things that people do that let them live longer? Now, I have some personal opinions just from my patients. I have the beautiful opportunity to take care of people from age 14 on up. And my oldest patients have been over 100. And you can see how people deal with life when they're going to live that long. They constantly find things that excite them, things that challenge them, even though their world may be a little smaller because of arthritis, or they can't see as well or can't hear as well, they still are finding things to do, to excite, and to learn. And that's, I think, part of the key.
You don't see a lot of 100-year-old people who smoke and are overweight.
No, you really don't. That's
that
exactly right.
Should be a hint.
Should be a clue.
At least not standing up.
That's right. It should be a clue, because that is very, very true.
Well,
these things take their toll.
Does this impact the senior hoopla
It
program?
does. We're doing that at Epworth Villa, and we're going to have some booths for the seniors to see the various vendors, maybe buy some Christmas presents for friends and family, and we're going to have a number of our family physicians from Edmond who will be talking about some of these things for centurions that will be interested. It's open to the public. Epworth Villa is another wonderful facility, so people have the opportunity to come, spend a little time, enjoy the day, and meet these doctors who are taking new patients, which is also a key for seniors to have the right doctor.
You have one topic here, a gentler side of cancer.
We're doing this at Integris Cancer Institute of Oklahoma, which I don't know if you've seen it, but it is our beautiful facility. And we want to showcase that when people hear the word cancer, they immediately become frightened. And they immediately think, oh my gosh, hardships and chemotherapy, et cetera. But a couple of things. Number one, the treatments have changed a lot. They are much easier to take for the most part. Number two, it's a holistic approach at ICIO. We will have Dr. Chioli speaking about acupuncture, because that is used to relieve some of the nausea and other symptoms. Dr. Theobald, who is a breast specialist, will be talking about how you get your mind prepared if you're facing chemotherapy. We will have Dr. Yassine, who's a wonderful oncologist, who will be speaking about the whole mind-body approach in terms of how they have conferences to look over people's information to decide what are the right treatments. And then we'll also talk about how the foods you eat can make a difference. So it's a great program.
And stress is a topic that wasn't discussed 20 years ago nearly as much as it is today. Still important.
Let me ask you this: how much stress can you take? that's what our program is. Number 23.
This is a kind of a cool one too, because we have a husband and wife team, both physicians who have 2 young children and are dealing, I'm sure, with a lot of stress that goes on. Justin Sparks is an internist, and his wife Alyssa Sparks is an OBGYN, and they're at our Edmond facility at our Edmond Hospital, and they're going to be talking about stress in your life and how it affects you in different ways. And I think they're going to add a little of the personal approach to it, of how they deal with this, with a family situation where both of them have very busy positions.
Nobody is stronger or more dazzling than my wife Amanda, but the girls' day out is be strong and be dazzling. I bet she'll be there for that.
I hope she will, because that is our really fun day. We talk about women who are making a difference. We give our award to the Oklahoma Woman Who Makes a Difference. This is an unsung hero, not someone who gets all of the awards from all over, but somebody who is just doing something, maybe helping with her church or her family. We also have an award to a very deserving teenager, and then we have a fashion show with our doctors. Many of these doctors that you see in this catalog are going to be modeling. And Ruth Myers will be one of them, and from Ruth Myers, and also from Stephen Giles, the men's store. We'll have men and women doing the modeling. So it's just a fun day. We've got lots of vendors there, again, who have jewelry and cooking utensils and all kinds of things that people can start thinking about gifts they want to buy.
All right, Dr. Mary Ann Bauman, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck
My
with
pleasure.
the Women's Health Forum.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
It started on September 8th. It runs through the 22nd, and there's more information probably available in documents that you have in front of you, but if not, we'll give you web information about how you can get more information about the Women's Health Forum, which runs all week. We'll be
Diane
right
Keaton
back.
tonight.
Diane Keaton tonight. Kent and I will have a final word when we get back.
The good life comes naturally to Tulsa, where nature's beauty is matched with an eye for aesthetics. A legacy of neighborhoods graced with lawns and landscaping and handsome homes. A place that seems to have patented an ideal lifestyle. Bank First is loyal to the quality of life Tulsa assures its citizens, to the priority placed on education, culture, and growth. Loyal to builders who transform raw land into residential charm. Developers who see opportunity and add vitality to Tulsa's economy. Bank First serves both enterprise and private lives that need a loyal partner. It's how we help nurture this city's very good life. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
All children deserve a life of hope and love, but sometimes they experience a life of pain, neglect, and abuse.
When that happens, each child deserves all the quality assistance and representation that can be offered in our legal system. For more information, call 23-CHILD.
Oklahoma Lawyers for Children, helping to bring hope and love back to the lives of abused children.
The Journal-Record is pleased to be a sponsor of The Verdict. The Journal-Record, since 1903, the best source of Oklahoma business news and legal information. And for almost 30 years, Oklahoma political, government, and business leaders have turned to the McCarville Report for accurate, reliable, inside information. Visit the McCarville Report online.
Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers, wrapping up a show on the Women's Health Forum, which runs all this week around Oklahoma City. Dr. Ann Bauman, today's guest.
Yeah, Ann's always good to give us her time, particularly in advance of this forum. A lot of good information passed over about a 2 or 3 week period, so I encourage you to take part in it.
Her website will have all the information you need on the Women's Health Forum. It's integrisok.com, integrisok.com. Just look for the additional links. And we have a website too. We'd love for you to go to our website and talk to us about a guest you'd like to see on an upcoming edition of The Verdict or a subject you'd like to see us addressed. It's theverdict.tv. That's going to do it for today's show. For Kent Myers, I'm Mick Cornett. We appreciate Dr. Bauman's appearance today, and we appreciate you watching. We'll see you next week.
The preceding program was produced exclusively for the Cox Channel.